You know that feeling? Sitting at your desk all day long, same chair, same screen, same light. Your body hasn't moved in 6 hours. Your mind is still sharp, analytical, strategic, productive. But something doesn't feel good. It's not your lungs, it's something deeper. You've built a successful life. Your career works, income is okay, you have security. But somehow you feel like a brain on a stick. You're getting more and more disconnected from your body. And here's what nobody tells you. That disconnection is killing you. And I don't mean it metaphorically. I mean it literally. Because this is what happens when you spend 25 years optimizing for career success and you forget that you have a body. The truth is, by midlife, most men have made a deal with themselves. They trade physical aliveness for professional achievement. And by 45, they're wondering why they feel empty despite having everything they thought they wanted. And today we're talking about why that trade was a mistake and what you can do about it now. Because it's not too late. And another thing that I truly believe is that today that matters more than ever. Because we are living actually in an age of disruption. AI is automating everything that's cognitive. And you know what is the last thing that can't be automated? Your body and your intuition. Your physical presence, your capacity to move, to endure, and to feel. That means physical sovereignty is becoming the ultimate human edge. But here's the problem. Most midlife professionals have surrendered that edge. They've become cognitively overloaded and physically underloaded. We are all brilliant at thinking, but we're terrible at moving. And your body knows that. It's been sending you the messages for years. The Sunday night dread, that's your body. Chronic tension, your body. The sense that something's missing, your body knows. Your body is trying to tell you something. And if you don't listen, it will force you to listen. Now, Nietzsche said something radical. He said, there's more wisdom in your body than in your deepest philosophy. And Nietzsche's philosophy was very deep. But we've been taught the opposite. Mind over matter, reason over instinct, thought over feeling. Nietzsche rejected that completely. He said the body is not a vessel for the mind. The body is the self. Body am I entirely, and nothing else. And soul is only a word for something about the body. And this wasn't just poetic, it was practical. Because Nietzsche understood that consciousness is a late arrival in human history. And your body always knows first. You listen to your gut feeling about a decision? That's because your body already decided. Your mind is just catching up. We just think we decide rationally. If you feel resistance to career move, it's because your body knows something your rational mind hasn't admitted yet. And this prioritizing of the mind is a catastrophic mistake of all Western philosophy, because it privileged mind over body. So Friedrich Nietzsche tried to correct this mistake. And he did it through physical practice. He went for long walks, deliberate challenges, paying attention to what his body was telling him. Because he understood something that we have forgotten. That a weak body creates a weak philosophy. And a disconnected body creates a disconnected life. And this is especially true if you're in your midlife. And I'm not talking here about fitness. I'm not talking about getting a six-pack or running a marathon or an Ironman. It's about something much more fundamental. It's about reconnecting with your body. If you're in your midlife and you've spent 20 plus years in a corporate environment that systematically disconnects you from your body, you sit in meetings all day, you sit at a desk, you sit in the airplane, you sit in your car, you sit at dinner checking your emails. That means your body has become a vehicle for your brain and nothing more. That means you're making decision making to something purely analytical. If you learn to ignore your intuition and also your physical wisdom. You've learned to override all these body signals. If your body tells you you're tired, push through. You're stressed, take some pills and medicate. If you're bored, distract. But in midlife, this is hitting back. Because this is when your body starts rebelling. And it is not because you're getting old. It's because you've been ignoring it for decades. And midlife is when your body finally gets loud enough that you can't ignore it anymore. But this isn't a crisis, and it's also not a sign that you're too late. It's a wake-up call. It's your body saying, hey, remember me? I'm still here and I have something to teach you. So you should listen very carefully. And I think one great way to reclaim this body wisdom and this body philosophy is by physical challenges. And here I'm not talking about exercise, because exercise is maintenance. It's something different. I'm talking about real boundary experiences, something that's pushing you to the edge of your capacity. And now I want to introduce you to 4 different types of physical challenges. And all of them can help you re-establish this connection to your body. So I think all of them are valid and all of them are useful. The first type of challenges are endurance challenges. This can be long distance hiking, bikepacking, running, or other types of endurance sports. And the point here is that you spend hours alone only with your thoughts, without your phone, without distractions, just you and the road ahead of you. And something like that actually teaches you how you can handle discomfort. What mental patterns emerge when your body is tired? I, for example, practice such challenges all my life. And I must say it's better than any meditation, better than any other inner work I'm doing. Because if I'm out there cycling for 4 or 5 hours or running 2 or 3 hours, that's really when the chatter stops and the clarity emerges. The next type of challenges are intensity challenges. This is a little bit different. It can be stuff like climbing mountains or strength training with heavy weights or also high intensity intervals. And that can be actually very ugly. For example, I hate high intensity intervals, I must say. I can run for hours in a steady pace, but if I do a few intervals, well, that hurts. But I must admit also that this training is highly effective because your heart rate is going up to levels that it's usually not going. The lungs are burning and your mind is screaming to stop because you don't want to feel the pain anymore. But it will teach you the difference between real limits and perceived limits. Because most of what stops you is mental. And actually you can achieve much more than you believe. And if you want to check out one of my intensity challenges, check out the video in the show notes. There I'm talking about how I'm climbing Pico de Orizaba, the highest mountain in Mexico, with my son. The third type of challenges, if you're not too much into sports, are general discomfort challenges. This can be stuff like different types of fasting, like intermittent fasting, 1-day fasting, 3-day fasting. I'm, for example, fasting once a year, at least for 12 days. But also stuff like cold showers, general cold exposure, heat exposure. And these are great challenges to support your inner work because they remove comfort and they allow you to see what emerges, what actually comes up. And they show you also how much of your life is spent avoiding discomfort. And especially the shorter challenges like taking a cold shower. They can give you a glance what you can discover when you stop avoiding. Because I guess all of us took already a cold shower, right? And you know the feeling and the levels of feelings that you go through during this event. In the beginning you think, no, cold shower, I don't want to go. It's nasty, it's disgusting, it's so cold. And then you convince yourself to do it. And you step into the shower and the first, few seconds will be really cold and there will be like a shock. But after that, it feels really good. It's really a release. It's giving you energy. It's giving you a good feeling. So it's really worth the effort. And if you succeed in these small challenges, you can imagine how much bigger it is when you go through a big challenge. And the last type of challenges I want to introduce are skill challenges. Like learning something new, a new physical practice, like could be martial arts or rock climbing or dancing or surfing, whatever it is for you. And the reason why this is great is humility. Because you start again as a beginner. And it means you're failing repeatedly. And that teaches you resilience and the capacity to learn. And it shows you also that you're not as fragile as you think. So these were some examples for challenges. You can choose any of them to get started. The criteria for all of them is it must push you beyond your comfort zone. And it must be a little bit scary. Not recklessly, not dangerously, but enough that you're uncertain you can do it. So what are the benefits of doing frequently physical challenges? The first benefit is anti-fragility. And the concept here is that things gain from stress. And your body is anti-fragile. That means if you stress your body appropriately, it gets stronger. And I don't mean just physically, also psychologically. Because when you push your physical limits, you prove to yourself, I can handle hard things. And that transfers confidence to your career, to your relationships, to your life. The second benefit of physical challenges is that it reveals mental patterns. Because your mind has patterns, habitual ways of responding to difficulty. And you can't see them in your normal life because you're too comfortable. But if you put yourself at the edge, if you're physically exhausted, mentally challenged, your patterns become visible. Think about the moment you want to quit. That's data. What story are you telling yourself here? I can do this. This is too hard. I'm not strong enough. I'm not good enough. That's the same story you're telling yourself in your career. And physical challenges make this story visible. And only if you make it visible, you can change it. The third benefit is that you access body wisdom. And we talked about that already, right? Your body knows things that your mind doesn't. When you're moving, and I mean really moving, not just exercising, true insights emerge. Nietzsche, for example, he did his best thinking, his smartest ideas while he was walking. And for me, it's the same. I've solved more career problems on a 20-mile run than in any of the coach sessions I ever had. Because your body has access to non-rational knowing, to intuition and the gut wisdom. But for that, you have to be moving. You have to be present. And you have to listen. The fourth benefit is that physical challenge proves capacity for change. By midlife, you've convinced yourself that you're fixed and that that's who you are and that this is what you can do. But if you push yourself to your limits, if you physically challenge yourself, you shatter that belief. You discover that you're stronger than you thought, that you're more resilient and more capable. If you can climb a mountain, you can change your career. You can even change your life. If you can fast for 2 weeks, you can also face your shadow and you can face what you have buried away for so many years. And if you can run a marathon, you can redesign your life because physical transformation enables psychological transformation. And that brings us to the fifth benefit, that physical enables psychological. And that's the deepest one. Because as Nietzsche said, your body and your psyche are not two separate things. They are one system. And when you transform your body's relationship to challenge, you transform your psyche's relationship to challenge. You become someone who can handle difficulty, not just physically, existentially. And that's the real transformation. That's where it starts. So how do you get started with that? Again, you don't have to start climbing now the biggest mountain that's near you. You also don't have to fast for 2 weeks like I'm doing. But you need something that scares you a little, something that pushes you beyond comfort. And here's how to start. Step number 1, identify your edge. Ask yourself, what physical challenges have you been avoiding? And I don't mean you avoided it because it's dangerous. I mean avoidance because it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's a 10K run, maybe it's a week-long hiking trip, or maybe it's learning how to rock climb. The point to that is it should feel slightly impossible, but not actually impossible. Only by that you can move frontiers and grow. Step number 2 is prepare deliberately. Don't just jump in. Prepare, train, get ready. And this is not about being safe. It's about respecting the challenge. And preparation also builds commitment because you're saying that actually matters to me. Step number 3 is just do it. You have to show up, do the thing, and don't quit when it's getting hard. You will face the moment where you want to quit. And that's actually the moment where you have to pay attention. And then ask yourself in this moment, what story are you telling yourself? What pattern is emerging? And the last step is, after the challenge, reflect. Sit down with what happened. Journal, think, integrate. What did your body teach you? What did you discover about yourself? How does this event change how you see yourself, your capacity, your life, your relationship, whatever? And after that, you can actually start integrating this into your career transition. Because physical challenges, they aren't separate from your career. They're central to it. Because when you prove to yourself that you can handle difficulty, something shifts. You stop being afraid of career change. You stop being afraid of failure. Because you understand in your body that you're capable of more than you thought. And that understanding enables transformation. It changes how you show up at work. And it changes how you make decisions. And it also changes what you're willing to risk. Because a man who climbs mountains, that man doesn't stay in a job that's killing him. Because he can't. His body won't let him. Because his body knows he's capable of more. And that means physical challenges are the gateway to psychological transformation. And they are actually the proof that change is possible. So prove it to yourself. I hope this video inspired you to listen to your body. Because your body is trying to tell you something. It's been trying that for years. And what it is telling you is not weakness, it's wisdom. Because your body knows what you're capable of. So my invitation now would be, find your edge, push it and see what emerges. Maybe for you it's a mountain, maybe it's a cold shower, or maybe it's a fast. It might be also a bike ride. But do something that's scary to you. Something that pushes you beyond comfort. Because on the other side of that challenge is a version of yourself you haven't even met yet. And this version is a stronger version of yourself. A more resilient and a more alive and a more happy version. And that version is ready for the transformation your soul has been calling for. So what's your edge experience? What physical challenge have you been avoiding? Let us know in the comments below. We will support you. And with this, I want to say thank you and have a wonderful day.